Everybody, it's Mrs. Barber, and I'm going to take you through an example of a variable practice problem on our digital interactive notes. So the first few pages here are the typical, kind of like the last one we did, where we have some vocab. If you are stuck on the vocab definitions, please use the Flexbook link right here, or the Flexbook link on Canvas, or you can even use StudyStack, which has all the vocab in it, or any of the PowerPoints on Canvas as well. Okay, so that will help you with your vocabulary. There's some, basic stuff about putting steps in order, testable versus non-testable questions. What I wanted to talk to you about were the variable practice. This slide here, it does say, list 5 variables, which are changeable factors that can affect how you perform on your science test here in the purple. But we want you right here just to give me a basic definition of the 3 types of variables, okay? This right here, I wanted to take you through one of the practice problems together. And over here, I have like a little Post-it note, and that is going to help you with some of the questions that you need to ask yourself to help you get the correct answers for these kind of problems. So the first variable practice is about a guy named Milo and how he's deciding to test paper towels to see which brand is the strongest. He uses 3 kinds of paper towels. He pours 100 milliliters of water on each. Then he has his sister hold the edges while he places pennies in there until it tears. So he's making sure he is using this the same size towel, and he is doing 5 trials of each of the 3 types of paper towels. So when we go to fill in the variables, okay, I want to ask myself these questions up here. So the first change is your independent variable, and that is what you are changing as the scientist, the first change. Now, in this case, it's Milo, okay? He's the scientist here, and he is changing the fact that he is using 3 different brands of paper towels. So I'm going to type in paper towel brand for the independent variable. And you want to just kind of like keep it short and sweet, 2 to 3 words for a variable, depending on what it is. Don't tell us what you think. Don't tell, just say like, the amount of something or how much, or just keeping it short and sweet in terms of describing what the actual changeable factor is. And in this case, he's using 3 kinds of paper towels. So the brand is what is changing. The dependent variable, think data. What is he going to be measuring? In this case, he is putting pennies on the center of the towel until it tears. So I would infer that he is going to be counting the number of pennies that each paper towel holds. So the number of pennies is the dependent variable. It's the data that he is going to collect in order to see which brand is the strongest. The constants, and again, so this worksheet here and all these practice ones, they have the word constants, but it's really controlled variables. They are the same thing. So these are the things that need to stay the same. And I have all this over here on my Post-it. So basically, in this case, they're telling you some of the constants in this story. Sometimes you have to think about yourself running the experiment and kind of come up with them on your own. But in this case, he's mentioning some of these. So the first concept that I am seeing, that things that have to stay the same with all the trials he's doing with all the different paper towels, is that he's using 100 milliliters of water. So the amount of water is constant. It is staying the same for each trial he does. He's also using the same size paper towel. Because, if you had a bigger piece versus one of the smaller ones, that would obviously affect the outcome of the results here. So you do need to use the same size paper towel, okay? In this case, those are the 2 big ones there that he is mentioning, or that are mentioned in the story. And if you can come up with more, that's awesome. The more controlled variables you can come up with, the better. But we'd like you to aim for at least 2 for each of these samples. So I hope that this helps. Please reach out to your science teacher if you're really confused with the variable practice. And don't forget, you have a lot of resources on Canvas that can help you with this. And again, these are the kinds of questions here that you need to be asking yourself as you read these sample experiments in order to correctly identify your variables. Thanks, and let us know if you have any questions.